So, hold on, we're gonna have to record that whole thing again because I muted this. So I think that's going to be the cold open where I just go, oh, I'm going to have to re-record all this because we were muted. Welcome to Marvel Cinematic University, where each and every week I teach Jacob something he doesn't know about the MCU and probably still doesn't because he's a terrible student. I am your number one professor and host, Alix, and with me as always is the number 0 student, worst student ever, Jacob.
Why must you slander me week in and week out?
Because it's fun and it brings me entertainment and joy.
It just hurts me, and I cry myself to sleep every night because of it.
And it brings joy to me knowing that that's the truth.
Oh, well, I guess if it makes you happy.
Oh, well, if me being happy makes you happy, then I'll stop.
Here's the issue. I can't be happy because in order to make you happy, I have to be miserable.
Exactly.
For me to be happy.
I've really woven the weave here.
It's a weave that's been woven for sure.
Anyway, welcome to Marvel Cinematic University, where this week we are talking about WHIH Newsfront shorts, season 1. This was released in July of 2015, July 2nd to July 16th of 2015. Jacob, did you enjoy the Newsfront?
It was a nice little supplemental inside look on what the news might have been talking about during these events of Ant-Man.
It was also probably a nice refresher that you didn't have to watch Iron Fist himself.
Yeah, well, I've been watching that along the way here, and boy.
Yeah, sounds like you enjoyed that a lot.
I had high hopes for Defenders.
Oh, that's your fault.
Really high.
Well, Jake, we'll talk about your low hopes next week, or in 2 weeks, sometime when that episode comes out. But first, Let me tell you a little bit about the background of WHIH. Ooh. WHI Newsfront is a fake American current affairs digital series serving as the center of several viral marketing campaigns for Marvel Studios. Based on the fictional television network WHIH World News that appears throughout the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the YouTube videos begin as marketing for the film Ant-Man and deal with major events depicted in the MCU's film and television series. The videos were created by Marvel Studios in partnership with Google.
And who was it directed by?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. It is, maybe nobody directed it.
That seems improbable.
Oh, well, they didn't list a director. They listed a created by and a presented by.
Okay.
It's created by Marvel Studios, and it's presented by Leslie Bibb and Al Madrigal.
I can only assume one of them was potentially the director here.
Could be. Nope, there's no directors listed anywhere on this page.
No direction.
I mean, News doesn't really have... I guess they do have a director. I was going to say they have more of a producer, but they do also have a director.
Who was the producer?
Kevin Feige?
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, so the first season had 5 episodes. Those episodes were WHIH Newsfront Promo, WHIH Newsfront Top Stories, WHIH Exclusive 2012 Vista Core break-in security footage involving cybercriminal Scott Lang, and Episode 5 Wired Insider interviews Darren Cross, CEO of PIM Technologies. And I'm sorry, that was Episode 4. Episode 5 is WHI Exclusive Scott Lang interview.
Yeah, I mean, these are good. I honestly, I wish they were just like a minute or two longer.
Yeah. I mean, they were basically essentially just like 30-second commercial spots for these movies.
I feel like some of them got cut a little short. They could have really taken some liberties if they went like a minute or two longer, but...
Yeah, I mean, It is what it is. It's a commercial for movies.
Yeah. I mean, for what they are, they're good. They're enjoyable. I'd watch them again.
I mean, hey, that Christine chick, she might look familiar.
She did look quite familiar. It's almost like I think she was in one of the Iron Man movies, perhaps.
Or 2 of the Iron Man movies, perhaps. Maybe even 3, but probably not.
It's not confirmed. It's highly anticipated or highly likely.
So, Jacob, let's get in to WHIH Newsfront shorts, shall we?
Yeah. They're kind of just talking about Ant-Man the whole time.
We're going to go episode by episode, because I have the episode and their nice lengthy episode information on there, so I'm going to go through and read that.
Yeah, I feel like these breakdowns are going to be longer than the actual episodes.
All right, episode 1, Newsfront promo. Christine Everhart runs down the upcoming week's main stories. Episode 2, WHIH Newsfront's top stories.
Onward.
Christine Everhart discusses the ongoing relief efforts in Sokovia and the upcoming release of corporate criminal Scott Lang.
That's episode 3?
What's episode 2?
That's episode 2, okay.
Episode 3, WHIH exclusive 2012 VistaCorp break-in security footage involving cybercriminal Scott Lang. Security footage featuring Lang's VistaCorp break-in, for which he was arrested and imprisoned.
He was just trying to do the right thing.
Is that why he crashed the guy's car?
It's highly, allegedly.
That's highly alleged.
Highly alleged.
Episode 4. Episode 4. Wired Insider interviews Darren Cross, CEO of PIM Technologies. An interview with PIM Technologies CEO Darren Cross concerning the future of his company.
Real piece of work this guy is.
Well, if you remember from the movie Ant-Man, he is a bit of a crazy man.
He's the Hornet.
Oh, I realized I mentioned to forget that this takes place after Age of Ultron, but before Ant-Man.
Okay, yeah.
And it stars Leslie Bibb as Christine Everhart, reprising her role from the MCU films.
So you said this takes place in between Ultron and Ant-Man?
Yeah, pretty much like a week after Ultron and a week before Ant-Man.
Okay, that makes sense. That's why they're like talking about Sokovia.
Yeah, because Sokovia just happened and Ant-Man's about to happen.
So was season 2 of this like meant to promote Ant-Man as well, or they were just like, hey, we kind of had some success here. Let's see if we caught lightning in a bottle.
Season 2 was promoting Civil War.
Okay.
So that one takes place like the last episode is the beginning of Civil War.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I was hoping to see. We'll talk about that when we get to season 2, but I was hoping to see Tony Stark make an appearance.
Well, as Christine Everhart said in that episode, it's more unlikely than getting the president.
Yeah.
Episode 5, Scott Lang interview. Christine Everhart interviews Scott Lang via video from San Quentin prison ahead of his release.
That interview did not go well.
It did not. It's almost like they work for VistaCorp. VistaCorp Evil Incorporated. TM.
Headed by Doofenshmirtz.
He's actually the big bad of Phase 6, I hear.
Yeah. 100%.
Now that they can't use King. Anyway, that's it. Those were the episodes.
Woo!
Did you enjoy? What was your takeaway here?
I enjoyed them. I already kind of said my takeaway. I wish they were a little longer, but overall they were good. Did
it make you feel excited to watch Ant-Man 3 months ago?
Yeah. If I was going to watch Ant-Man in a week, I would definitely want to watch these first. It's a nice little marketing ploy,
It really is. I do like how they it was in universe to the MCU, and we'll talk about this in a minute, but all the tickers were like MCU references.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Don't worry. I wrote them all down.
All of them down.
But first, we have to get into the fun facts.
Ooh.
In the comics, Christine Everhart is a reporter for the Daily Bugle.
The Daily Beagle.
Now, you may be wondering, why doesn't she work for the Daily Bugle in the MCU? Well, in this time frame in 2015, when these shorts were released, the rights to the Daily Bugle were still tied up in Sony because Sony owns Spider-Man.
Not for long.
No, they still own Spider-Man, actually. Disney's just been like jerking off their money bank.
Okay.
And then my other fun fact here is Darren Cross says people will find his invention astonishing. A nod to Ant-Man's debut in Tales to Astonish.
Ooh, I was astonished. It left me on the edge of my seat.
I'm glad. I'm glad it did, as it should. Well, Jake, I'm going to tell you some It's All Connected, but first I'm going to give you some trivia to see if you can guess the It's All Connected.
Ooh, you got a little twist.
In what movies prior to these shorts did Christine Everhart appear?
Was it Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, and possibly Iron Man 3?
Incorrect. It was just Iron Man 1 and Iron Man 2.
Highly theorized Iron Man 3.
Highly alleged Iron Man 3.
Highly theorized.
Yes, it was Iron Man 1 and Iron Man 2. Now, would you like to go ahead and guess the second connection? What movies and shows has WHIH previously appeared in?
Well, there's quite a few of them. Almost all of them.
All right, I'll just list them off because I've even included the scenes that are there. So its first appearance was in Incredible Hulk, interviewing people about the Hulk fight at Culver University. It then made its next appearance at Iron Man 2, covering the Stark Expo. Several times across Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., mostly covering big MCU events and political events, and whenever Talbot does something stupid. It appeared in Daredevil, covering Fisk's statement in Season 1. Jessica Jones, which covers the story of the home Jessica and Kilgrave are staying in, saying man holds his own family hostage. Luke Cage, though WJBP appears more often, WHIH can often be seen on the scene as well, getting the scoop. An Iron Fist, covering Rand's return, and several projects we haven't discussed yet, including Inhumans, The Punisher, Runaways, WandaVision, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh, they covered Danny Rand sleeping on the sidewalk for 3 episodes?
Yeah, I mean, it's that kind of news program, you know? They got to fill their time with something.
Hard-hitting news story.
Hard-hitting news, Danny Rand on the streets.
Again.
Danny Rand in your sheets.
He was in Miss Wing's sheets.
No, he was on her floor, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Next connection. Corey Stoles reprises his role as Darren Cross. Paul Rudd returns as Scott Lang, from the famous movie Ant-Man.
That name sounds familiar.
Ant-Man and nobody else.
We'll see.
Scott Lang alludes that VistaCore is owned by owns WHIH. Christine mentioned... Well, wait till season 2. Christine mentions a security breach at S.H.I.E.L.D. HQ in Sokovia when talking to Scott. She also references her time covering Tony Stark and compares Scott to Stark.
And he says, thank God I'm not Stark.
Yeah. Thank God I'm not Stark. Thank the Lords. That's all I got for connections for you. So, now I'm going to read to you all the crawls that were in this thing, and we can talk about each one of them and what they could mean. Crawl number 1. Renowned astrophysicist Jane Foster to lecture on her experience with inner space and interdimensional travel. At this point, we know Jane Foster, she traveled to the Asgard place.
Oh, she's been there.
She's been around the Asgard block.
Yeah, she's left this earth and realm.
And also her soul?
Sure.
All right. Next one. Rogue Hydra agent Wolfgang von Strucker confirmed dead.
Von Strucker!
Your face. I was waiting for it. I knew it was coming. His body was found in its cell after a supposed raid on an Eastern European detention facility.
Von Strucker!
You remember how von Strucker died?
He fell into some goo.
No, well, he was surrounded by his own goo, meaning his blood, because Ultron used his blood to paint the walls
Yeah.
of the cell that they found him in.
That did happen. Needed a new coat of paint. I think I said that when that happened too.
I think so too. Steve Rogers to attend updated museum exhibit dedicated to his heroic efforts in World War II. Nothing much to say here, though. I hope they have a exhibit for Blenderman.
There has to be.
R.I.P. the villain, Blenderman.
R.I.P. Blunderman. He was just trying to family.
The real villains were the friends we made along the way.
Yes, family drinks only smoothies now out of memoriam for him.
Out of memoriam for Blenderman. Stark Industries announces new scholarship for promising students from urban city schools. This could be an allusion to Ironheart, though it's probably way too early for that.
It's actually an allusion to Iron Fist.
Danny Rand?
Yeah.
My boy, Daniel.
Ooh.
Damn, Daniel. Back at it again with the Iron Fist. Man, nothing like making a 10-year-old reference.
Oh, not to get sidetracked here, but one of my favorite things about like the Hand in Iron Fist is how they consistently call him the worst Iron Fist ever.
Well, it's true.
And it's so true.
It absolutely holds water.
They are not wrong.
I can think of a better Iron Fist who's never been an Iron Fist.
Iron Fister.
Thank God there's no Iron Fist references here.
Yeah.
Multiple countries recovering from catastrophic damage caused by sentient robot Ultron. Leaders asking for aid and for the Avengers to be held accountable. This is an allusion to the fact that they're all going to be criminals next year.
Highly theorized. We don't know that yet.
When the Sokovia Accords come in.
The Sokovia Accords.
Von Strucker!
Von Strucker!
Stark says that public concerns about Dr. Bruce Banner are baseless and irresponsible after the South Africa incident involving the Hulk. Jacob, do you remember the South Africa incident involving the Hulk?
I did. Go to sleep, 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 go to sleep.
That is it. Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
Yeah, I mean, there are some concerns there. If you're looking at it.
No, it's fine. They're baseless and irresponsible.
Irresponsible.
Biography, The Life and Times of Industrialist Howard Stark, to be published later this year. This is what made me remember that you have to read a book, because Scott Lang released a book about his life, and they're really publishing it.
How long is this book?
I don't know, it hasn't come out yet, but when I get it, I'll show it to you.
Oof. There better be some good spark notes.
It does have a reference to Rocket Raccoon in there.
I'll read that chapter.
In the movie, they play like a clip of him reading the book, and one of the lines is, I wasn't really sure what was going on. I was just happy to be friends with a space raccoon.
Trash panda.
All right. Efforts to recover the remaining Ultron technology continue as components from the advanced robotics are capturing large sums on the black market.
Go figure.
Go figure. Who would have guessed?
That's what S.H.I.E.L.D.'s for. All
right. That is all I've got for this episode. I'd say that was a pretty good episode of Marvel Cinematic University. I enjoyed WHIH Season 1 pretty well. There is just one matter of one more thing, Jacob.
Are we ranking it?
We're fucking ranking it, baby.
Oh, boy.
All right, let's look at the list so far. Number 1, we've got Guardians of the Galaxy, Winter Soldier, Avengers, Iron Man, Captain America in Memoriam Blenderman, Ant-Man, Thor, Avengers Age of Boredom, Jessica Jones, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 1, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2, Daredevil, Luke Cage, Iron Man 3, Iron Man 2, I Am Groot, Marvel One-Shots, Fury's Big Week, Thor the Dark Times, Iron Fister, and Hulk. Where do we want to put WHIH News?
Right, probably on right above Iron Fister.
See, I was gonna say I think it would fit well between I Am Groot and Marvel one-shots.
I like them better than, or I like the Marvel one-shots, I think, a little better.
Okay, so then between Marvel's one-shots and Fury's Big Week?
Yeah, right above Fury's Big Week, probably.
All right, we will put WHIH Season 1.
Just because I had to read Fury's Big Week, you know?
Yeah, I get it. Still, reading was way better than Thor the Dark Times, Iron Fister, and Hulk.
Yeah.
Jake, I also got one special thing I'm gonna... Actually, no, I didn't prepare anything for this. We'll do this in a different supplemental. That's it for this week's episode.
Were you gonna give me my my weekly bad comment on or from Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah, so I was thinking we could do a supplemental where we go through every episode we've done so far, or every movie we've done so far, and find a comment.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll have an opportunity to do that one week.
Yeah, no, I'm sure I will need supplemental content at some point. There is another season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that comes up pretty shortly.
Oof.
It's okay, it's a good season.
I just want to watch movies.
I know you do. And that's why I'm pushing back the show a little bit. Where technically you should have watched it before Civil War, but I'll allow it to be like after Civil War and one other movie.
Yeah. It's let's push that back maybe to August sometime. We can do it.
We'll figure it out. Anyway, this has been Marvel Cinematic University. Make sure you check us out on Instagram, Facebook. God, I always fucking say Facebook. Instagram. I don't even have a personal Facebook anymore.
I know. I found that out the other day.
But yeah, make sure to follow us on Twitter, Threads. Follow us on Threads. We have a Threads account.
Do we?
We do have a Threads account. It's the same name as our Instagram account, so go find that link somewhere in one of our bios. It's also in the credits, so stick around for the credits and see it in the credits. Anyway, don't forget to get our merch. That's pretty cool. We got Blenderman merch coming. And maybe one day there'll be some more merch. Maybe there'll be some Iron Fister merch. You never know.
We love Iron Fister merch.
But yeah, we'll see you next week at 3:00 on a Thursday.
Yeah, and don't forget to follow us on feetfinder.com and OnlyFans.